Hello everyone, my name is Oktay Arji, and welcome to How to Become a Better Presenter Week 2. This week we're going to talk about some very important things for our presentations, very fundamental things, should I say. We're going to talk about them. We're going to see them in the outline, but before we talk about the outline we're going to talk about today, I would like to reminiscent on what we have learned in week 1. If you remember, uh, or if you watched my presentation, last week's keyword was practice. Well, this week also is going to go on that key word, practice, which is everything to me. We are gonna talk about a bit more how we can improve ourselves this week too. If you were in the classroom right now, I would have asked you, did you learn anything inspiring about what we've learned in the first week's MOOC? But since we're not, and since I'm talking to the screen right now, we're not going to do that. So let's just go on with the outline itself. So today, we are going to be specifically talking about adding your own personality in your own presentations. And after that, we're going to be talking about presenting to different audiences, storytelling, and improvisation. As you can guess from the outline itself, these are just very fundamental things that we are going to learn. These are fundamentals, but people are, how should I say, they're messing up the fundamentals. So, by reinforcing our fundamentals, I think we can just be better presentators without any extra effort. So this is what we're going to talk about this week. So let us start with adding your own personality. Well, adding your own personality is a big thing, but there's just not a switch that I can, flip on or flip off in order to insert my own personality in my presentations. Unfortunately, no. But as you can see from the presentation here itself, there are just ways. There are ways of doing it, and how we do that is how we use those ways is, as we have mentioned in the previous weeks, it's practice. You should just practice more and more. You should practice. You should make more and more presentations, and you should explore new ways. New ways as you can see here, making jokes or tweaking your presentations like I've done here, or you can just, tell some stories. And as you can see here, right here, I mean, you can even, depending on the audience itself, you can even yell at the audience itself, depending on the audience. So for some younger audiences, being loud and yelling at some people in a funny way can be more attractive and can be more personal and can make your presentation more personal. But for me, in this presentation, as you can see here, I've just added a funny image here. To me, this image is very funny. So, and it's very personal to me. So I thought, I could just add my own funny images that I have in my computer into this slide, in this very specific slide. So it would make sense. And if you were in the classroom right now, I could just see my audience's in-time reactions. And, based upon the reaction that I've got, I would probably add more and more stuff like this, or I would just take out these kind of stuff. It all depends on just, as you can see here, it all just depends on trying. It all just depends on practice. It all just depends on, trying to be funny, trying to be quirky. You just have to try new and new ways in order to improve yourself. And the key word here again is just practice. Make more and more practice. You're gonna get some weird, should I say, weird silences because of your jokes. Sometimes, of course, and people are just gonna laugh sometimes. You just need to try. So So what we've talked about is that, I mean, adding your own personality was the gateway for what we're going to talk about today. So presenting to different audiences is something that you are going to do inevitably, you know, because you're not always going to be, you know, presenting to the same people in the same place and about the same topics that you know. You're at some point in your life are going to present to some different people about something different in some place that you were never been in. So what you can do is that you should what you should do in order to, you know, make your presentations more smoother is that, as you can see here, you should learn your audience beforehand, and by learning their backgrounds and learning what they know about the topic and all that, you can improvise and adapt your presentation. Sorry. So what you should do in situations like this is that if whenever you're in a different place and talking about some different topics, you should just learn your audience and you should just adapt and go on from there. But I mean, for some time, or but before that, you know, whenever we jumped into this specific topic, presenting to different audiences, right? If you were in the classroom itself, I would like to ask, you know, what was the weirdest uh, situation? What was the weirdest setting that you were, how should I say, forced to make a presentation? I thought, you know, that would be a very good, should I say, interaction with the audience itself. So, but we are not in here, and we are not in the classroom itself. We are in a digital platform, and this specific slide is also about digital platforms. You know, because not always you're going to be presenting to an actual live audience, but you're going to present to some audience like me who doesn't see you immediately. You're just gonna record some presentation and send it to a bunch of people, and people are going to see afterwards. Well, this is the thing that I'm doing right now, you know. I mean, of course, this specific situation, you know, not having an immediate audience, not having immediate, how should I say, not seeing your audience itself has its own, you know, positives and negatives, you know, it has its own benefits and disadvantages. So what they are here is that, oh, sorry, gone too much. You know, for example, one of the benefits that we have here is that, you know, you're in your own environment, and just because of that, you're going to be more relaxed, you know. For example, the main reason why people are getting more anxious whenever they're presenting is that they're presenting in front of a, you know, bunch of people. So they're that's what makes them anxious. So whenever you're talking to a screen like me or talking to a camera like me, you tend to be more and more relaxed. Like, for example, me, I'm probably just more relaxed than I would have ever been in the classroom itself. But, you know, this is one positive of not having an immediate audience. But a negative is, I guess, more and more damaging to us. You know, it outweighs the positive itself, I guess, which is, you know, since you don't have an audience itself, for example, I've put some funny images in my presentation, right? But if I were in the classroom itself, I would have seen your direct feedback, and I would have just, you know, improvised or adapt over that situation, you know. But whenever I'm talking to a screen, I know I'm going to get some feedback, you know, maybe 1 or 2 days later, but I'm not getting an immediate feedback, and it's just gonna affect my presentation right here and right now. So I think this is the biggest negative that you know, presenting in a digital platform like me, such as in this place, or I mean, it's just it has its own benefits and it also has its negatives, as we mentioned. But I think the negatives, how should I say, they out than the benefits. So, continuing with the storytelling, storytelling is the stuff that we should do quite more and more often, should I say, because people like stories. Kids like stories, adults like stories, even elder people like stories. A story is just a perfect way for you to grasp the attention of the how should I say, grasp the attention of your audience, because as I've said, everyone likes a great story. Everyone likes a great story that is related to your presentation. You can use your storytelling in order to reinforce your idea or in order to present new ideas to the table. So storytelling is an important and crucial thing, but not all of us are storytellers. Some of us are anxious, and some of us just don't know many stories to tell. So what you can do in that situation is that you can put yourself under the spotlight and you can just share your experiences, make up your own stories, make up your own experiences and tell them in order to reinforce your point or in order to present some new ideas. you know you can put yourself under the spotlight, as I've said before, and by doing that you can attract the audience itself, and you can attract their attentions to yourself. And by doing that, you can also interact with your audience by having quick little questions and answers kind of thing. So it's just a perfect benefit for you to acquire. And there's not a specific way for me to, tell you how to tell your stories. That's just up to you. You should just practice, as I said before. You should just practice and practice more in order to, perfect your storytelling. Well, the last, how should I say, the last topic that we have here is just improvise. There in this presentation also there has been some points that I've just forgotten. And as a presenter, as a presentator, or should I say, you should be able to think, upon your feet. You should be able to make some quick choices, quick, how should I say, like I mean, like here, like in this exact moment, I forgot what am I about to say. I mean, I don't have a script or anything, but having pauses like that. I mean, just in this moment, I'm improvising right now. I don't know what I'm talking about right now, and this is what you should be able to do as a presenter, because not many people, not many people, nobody. I mean, nobody knows what you're talking about except you and your group if you have one. Nobody knows about your script, even if you have one. Nobody knows even if you have a script or not, you know? So you should be able to, adapt to the situation that you're in. As you can see from the image here, you should just improvise, adapt, and overcome. But, improvising is not something that's that can be done easily. I mean, it's easier said than done. But again, this just comes back to my point from the first week. Again, practice. You should just practice. Practice improvising. You can take improvisation classes, but I don't think they're going to be that much helpful. Real experience by presenting is going to help you more, I think. And practicing is just the perfect way to do that. And again, it's just natural to forget things. We're just only mere humans. We can forget things. Whenever you forget things, you can just ask people. You can ask where were we, where did we just left off? Or you can just make a joke about the fact that you just forgot what you were talking about, you know? Improvising is just a skill that you can acquire by just doing it more and more and more. Well, if you were in the classroom, it's right now, I would have just asked to my audience, have you ever like improvised on a larger scale, or what was the weirdest situation that you needed to improvise, adapt, and overcome? But we are not in the classroom right now, so I'm asking you, the person who's watching me right now that I don't know, you can email me, or you can find me at school and tell me later. Well, this was it. I'm sorry if my voice was a bit terrible because I just got a new microphone. So I'm just testing it out. So I'm sorry if my voice was a bit weird, bit bad. But that was all for this week. And I hope I can see you in the next week. So see you later until then.